Thanks very much for this opportunity. It's been inspiring for me, actually. I started my career very young. I'm Kenyan. I grew up in northern Kenya. I ran with my nomad community friends. I learned a lot from them. And then I went to school. And I was rather disappointed, I must admit, in some of the curricula that I was faced with. But I learned so much just listening to all of you, both in the formal sessions and in conversations out in the garden and in the corridors, that it left me inspired, I must say. That's not to say that the challenges we face are not large, but I learned very early from communities here in northern Kenya, and when I went to work in the Amazon, in Peru and Brazil, and then when they shipped me to Sumatra to work with the transmigration program that was in place, there is such a rich heritage and knowledge base that is inherent in our communities, in the mothers and women that hold families together, that prepare children for the future, both in terms of how they are guided and fed so that they get all the essential micronutrients and proteins and vitamins at an early stage. And that's really critical, because if you don't get those essential nutrients and micronutrients and vitamins, then your cognitive capacity doesn't develop. So if you have a mind of a 6-year-old and you look perfectly healthy as an adult, that is really a serious issue that we face. And a lot of the sessions we've had here have referred in various ways to the importance of nutrition in the restoration agenda, and how we structure our nutrition, how we structure the restoration agenda to take account of, through the diversity of species, through the diversity of landscape niches, through the diversity of continental teleconnections, what happens with wind currents, air current, ocean currents, the movement of species, the movement of invasives, diseases, as we are seeing. All of that you have touched on, and I've really been impressed at the vision that Africa has, especially because there has been a focus on Africa. And I think we can move forward with a certain amount of confidence. That's not to say that the task is not huge, as I said before. So I've said this in another session this afternoon. I somehow feel that this conversation should have taken place 3 decades ago, just because where we are now in terms of what's happening with the planet. So let's not underestimate the challenges, but in the challenges are opportunities, and if we come together and work together institutionally, so there's the diversity, governance-wise, also a multitude of diverse opinions, systems, and community inclusion. Children, youth, teenagers, families, women, all of us need to really work together, because otherwise we have a problem. And I'll close on the other issue that in the last week there have been several scientific papers that suggest we have less than a 5% chance of attaining a 2 degrees centigrade or staying below a 2 degrees centigrade world. So how many people here would get in a bus or a train or a car or a plane if it only had 5% of chance of arriving at its destination? Right? Thank you.